Sky Moore. This segment is on gap financing, which is the key to film financing. Whoever can figure out how to raise the gap financing can make their film. What is gap financing? Let's assume you have a $10 million film and you have managed to raise $6 million of it with bank financing against pre-sales, which we've covered in another segment. What that leaves you is a $4 million gap for financing your film. And the challenge of film financing and the most difficult part is raising gap financing. Where do you go? What are the different sources? One place you go to is equity financing. That's, you do an equity raise, you do a private placement. This is, we covered in another segment on the securities laws and equity financing. That's an important part of plugging the gap, if you will. Another source that you go to is tax subsidies. That is an enormous source of financing now for the gap. That is the foreign tax shelters, the U.S. Section 181, and the state tax credits. All can be as much as from 10% to 30% of your budget. It could plug the gap completely, and this is sometimes your whole gap is covered by tax credit financing. You can also go to advertisers and raise money from advertisers, and we'll cover that in another segment. And whatever the mind of man can imagine, whatever your creative ability is, your challenge is to cover that gap so that will put you ahead of the rest of the herd in doing film financing.